homesteading to prepping to common horse sense, we are College Hill Farm.
Welcome back to College Hill Farm. Well, today I'm taking a little break from the greenhouse. You build stuff and you, I don't know, it's like I get tired of stuff. But I just wanted to answer an email that I got a while back, and it was about politics. It wanted to know what my thoughts were about political candidates and all that stuff, and I want to give you a little background as to how I view politics. First off, there's no such thing as a politic-free zone. Everything we are is based in politics of one type or another. Okay, so, and I'm sitting here in the truck because the wind is blowing something tremendous out here, and I tried to do this video outside, and the wind was just so that I couldn't, so I'm sitting here in the truck doing it. Now, you are a product of your environment. I don't care how anybody else looks at it. You're a product of your genetics and your environment. I was raised in a little place called Harlan County, Kentucky. And if you go back, I'm going to go back as far as 100 years before I was born. I was born in the 1960s, so that means that 100 years before I was born, our country was in the middle of a civil war. Now, the county that I lived in bordered Virginia, so about half the county was on the Virginia side, or on the southern side, and half the county was on the northern side. So the way it divided out was my great-grandfather, well, my 4 times great-grandfather, 4 or 5, I don't know, I'm not going to worry about going back that way. My 4th or 5th great-grandfather was a 3rd lieutenant in the 50th Virginia Regiment under General Lee. On the other side, my dad's 4th or 5th great-grandfather was a 1st sergeant in the Harlan County Brigade, in the Harlan County, Kentucky Brigade. So he was on the north. So that lets you know where my family was. It was divided between the north and the south. Well, fast forward 100 years and those divides are still common today. Politics was all local in Appalachia. It's all local. Didn't matter if you were Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever. It was all local. It's all who you were kin to. So all growing up, my politics and my family's politics were all intermingled. And I bet yours were too. Who would have thought that Highlanders from Scotland and Ireland, okay, I have Scotch, Irish, German ancestry, and English. Scotch, Irish, German, and English ancestry. So that means I'm a mutt. So anyway, who would have thought that those Highlanders would be clannish and vote for family? Okay, so all politics is local. Now, as we moved on, politics arranged itself among local attitudes. In 1973, my mother and father were involved in a strike in Harlan County, and it was documented in a little documentary called Harlan County, USA. Mom and Dad are both in that movie. You can see Mom talking to the sheriff at out at a railroad track in that movie. Anyway, so you had those divisions, union and non-union, and they had different voting. Okay, so it was all politics. Politics, politics, politics. Today, politics is a little different. Politics, as always, has been the game of the wealthy. Now, you can say, oh, he's going to be one of those, or I don't care what you say. Politics has always been a game of the wealthy. And nothing shows that better than our own American history. If you look at the Declaration of Independence, it was signed by the 50 wealthiest men in the American colonies. Okay? It was signed by the 50 wealthiest men in the American colonies. Because they didn't want to pay their taxes. That sounds like a common thing, doesn't it? Today, same thing going on. Okay, nobody wants to pay taxes. Everybody wants services, but nobody wants to pay their taxes. So, wealthy people do things to their own ends. And they are going to spend billions of dollars to get what they want. Now, poor people, on the other hand, when they have had enough and they revolt, those revolts are put down violently. That's called a revolt, and it's put down by the government. Okay? Revolutions are fought by the wealthy, are brought on by the wealthy. It's fought by the poor people, but it's brought on by the wealthy. So, even our own American history teaches us that. So, as far as my politics goes, I haven't missed an election since I was old enough to vote. I had a great civics teacher by the name of Earl Rogers, and he didn't care what your politics were. He didn't care if you were a Republican, a Democrat. He didn't care who your mommy or daddy was. All he wanted you to do was exercise your right to vote. And everybody in this country has that right. Let me say it again. He just wanted you to exercise your vote, and everybody in this country has that right. So that's what my politics are. Vote every time a vote is available. Vote, vote, vote. Now, this is going to come out on November the 6th, and our election here in Kentucky is on November the 8th. Daylight savings time actually falls back on this day, hopefully for the last time. We fall back this fall. Then next year we'll spring forward, and I think it's going to stay there, I believe. I might be mistaken. Leave it in the comments if you think I am. And I'm all for you leaving it in the comments what you want to put about politics too. But now, as far as what I believe and who I vote for and all that thing, I don't put that on the channel. I know some people go, well, you're ashamed. No, I'm not ashamed of nothing I believe. I believe that Jesus told me to help every one of my fellow man. That's exactly what I believe. And if I have to help somebody and help them get food stamps, I do that. If I have to help them by stopping on the side of the road, I do that. We had 3 Hispanic guys broke down over here not far from my house, and I stopped, and they had been there for 6 hours. Nobody had stopped. All the Christians that drove by and just drove by. It's a telling tale. Anyway, this channel is all about you getting to come and see an old guy work on a homestead, develop his homestead, and not have to worry about who's the president, who's your governor, who's your state representative, who's your representative, who's. Okay? This is a channel about homesteading. Now, there are some issues that homesteaders need to pay attention to, and you as a homesteader can pay attention to those. Okay? That's not something that's my business. Alright? You need to pay attention to what you think is your business. If you feel like you should do something, do it. But know that there are ramifications for everything we do. Also know that following false teachings might not be the best way to go. Don't allow yourself to get away from the good person you are. Okay, to look down on somebody else, well, what I'm getting at, I was watching a video of another homesteader, and I'm not going to say who it was, and they were talking about the coming terrible stuff that's going to happen, and yada 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 yada. And I'll just tell you, these folks are not, and this probably is going to make people not want to listen to me. That's fine. These folks are not Christians. Okay, if you're worried about keeping too many guns, about defending your homestead against the roving hordes, you're at the wrong channel. Okay, if something happens and things go south, just come on, we'll eat till the food's gone. Okay. A lot of the preppers out there go, well, you'll be the first to go. Well, okay, that's okay with me. That's not a problem for me. I'll be in good company. Okay? I'll be in good company. You know, if I have to aim a gun at my neighbor for over a tater, well, crap. You know? Stop letting these people scare you all the time. Stop letting them scare you. I'm sure your religion, unless you're in some kind of religion that's about fighting, I'm sure your religion tells you better. Pay attention. Okay? Pay attention. People who are different from you are just different from you. They're not your necessary enemy. Everything different's not your enemy. So, that's my take here about politics. I'm very political. I vote. Every time there is a vote to be had, I vote. I have certain beliefs, and I vote. But I don't believe that the other side's out to kill me. I don't believe that there's some evil out there and they're eating children, or there's aliens in a volcano, or okay, I don't believe none of that crap. I believe in good old common sense. Love your neighbor like you love yourself, and then everything else will fall in place, because you won't be hateful to people that you love. Oh, some people are hateful anyway. They're born hateful. You know, they'll profess one thing and do something else. You know the people I'm talking about. Been there, done that. I let those people go other places. They're not part of my life. You know, it's not that I cut them off, but they cut themselves off. So you have to be willing to take your peace. You know, peace is a wonderful thing, and this channel, I hope, for you is a refuge of peace. All I want to do is show you what I'm doing from day to day. I want to show you what we're doing to be prepared. You know, if a homesteader on YouTube is telling you about all the things that you should be prepared for, that you should have guns and stations set up on your homestead, and beware, they're after money. Okay, that's all they're there for. Money. Money, 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 money. I don't have to have money. I've got my retirement, and I worked for it every day, and I've got it, and that's what I worry about. So try and take back your peace. Don't let politics destroy your peace. Go vote, but don't let politics destroy your peace. And if you do unto others, you'll find that your life is so much better. So I hope this gives you a little insight as to the way I am. So many folks profess one thing, but they show you another. Don't be afraid to recognize what you see. Okay? They'll show you one thing, they'll profess one thing and show you another. Don't be afraid to see what they actually are. But understand that people are dumb sometimes. Just the way they are. They're dumb sometimes. So, if you want to stay straight in your belief, your politics, your religion, you need to follow your beliefs and have your peace, inner peace, peace. Okay, that's my political views on College Hill Farm.